company at sa transmission company kasi nga po ito ay pass-through charges. So,
Chair,
yes po.
nakuha na natin ang ibig mo sabihin. Kahit na simplistic yung example mo, susundan kita ron eh. Ang example mo ay isang banyera ng bangus. Okay. So dahil sa merong loss doon, maaaring kinupit ng tindera o kaya biglang kahit na yung bangus ay hilado na pero lumundag pa rin, ano? Palagay mo lang ganun na nangyari. Ito yung mga factors na kaya kailangan makuha mo yung loss, yun ang sinasabi mo, okay. Sa mga tweet, yung banyera ng bangus na yon, kasama ng loss na yon, binenta mo sa supermarket A. Dahil siya na yung magdi-distribute. Tama? Yung generation, nasa sa'yo na, binenta mo sa supermarket A. Yung consumer ngayon, meron siyang option. Pupunta siya sa supermarket B o kaya C. Bakit kanya mas mataas yung bangus dito sa supermarket A? Pumunta siya sa B, medyo mura ng konti, ng 150 for example, or 1 peso, o kaya sa supermarket C, mas mura din. Doon siya bibili. Tama?
Ito pong system.
Teka muna, sagot ka muna. Siyempre, may option yung consumer. Nung makita niya, dahil binenta mo rito sa supermarket ganitong price, meron siyang option na mamili sa ibang supermarket. Tama?
Kung ang pinag-uusapan po natin
Sumagot
dito,
ka muna. Tama o hindi? Ba't tayo mo sumagot?
tayo po kasi as captain.
Hindi, sasagot ka muna.
Opo.
Tinatanong lang, napakasimple. Pumunta siya sa supermarket, ito yung presyo. Pumunta sa B and C, ito yung presyo. Makakapamili siya, di ba? Madam Chair, ba't hindi siya makasagot?
Opo, doon sa example niyo po.
Okay, kaya kita tinatanong ng ganon. Sa kuryente, hindi siya namin makakapamili. Wala kang ibang pupuntahan. Isa lang ang supermarket. Tama o hindi? Opo, sumagot ka. Yun ang problema eh. Huwag din yung gagamitin yung ibang perishable commodities. Pumunta ka sa isang supermarket, meron daga na kumakain sa mga produkto. It's a loss. Merong mga nagnanakaw doon. Nangyayari yun every day. It's a loss. Hindi lang mga outsiders. Maring yung sarili mong nagtatrabaho doon, nagbubulsa. So loss lahat ito eh. Yung supermarket, yung loss na yun, hindi niya ipapataw doon sa prevailing price ng kanilang produkto. Kasi yung consumer has the option to go to other outlets. In the case of electricity, Madam Chair, wala silang option eh. This is our problem. Kaya pinipilit ko kanina, and I thank you very much, Attorney Juan, nung sinabi mo, ay yung system loss, as you said, is an inherent operational characteristic. Inherent talaga to eh. Hindi mo mayaalis na mayroong mawawala, but this inherent operational loss is already admitted. It is known to all stakeholders bago kayo nagpasya na gumawa at mag-distribute ng kuryente. So it is a legitimate business risks that every industry should recognize. Ba't naman ang energy sector lang hindi nagre-recognize ng risks? Lahat ng industries have risks. Maski insurance company who cover for risks, meron din silang risk. Ito yung problema na madali naman nating intindihin. Madali naman nating gawa ng paraan. Di amend natin yung Republic Act 7832, ganun lang kasimple yun eh. Let's remove the system laws. As simple as that. Isang maliit na amendment lang ang gagamitin mo doon. And one thing more, Madam Chair, tingnan mo na lang yung universal charge. Tama yung sinabi ng chairperson. Yung universal charge, nandun, in order for us to bankroll certain areas na kailangan lahat silang ma-electrify, lahat makakita ng liwanag. Tama naman yun. That's not the objective of the government. Pero naglalaban sila nung feed-in tariff and JAP. Kasi yung feed-in tariff is supposed to capitalize the government's program para sa ganun, mas marami tayong renewables ma-operate. Kung marami tayong renewables na gagamitin sa lahat ng lugar ng ating bansa, o di bababa yung universal charge? Kasi, hindi naman, at some point in time, yung universal charge, bumababa hanggang sa eventually mawala na. If we succeed on the renewables. Ang problema, sinasabi lang natin, by 2030, ganyan puro forma, by 2030, parang 40% yata, Madam Chair, renewable na tayo lahat. By 2040, 50% ang renewable. Oh, Diyos ko. Ay, hindi naman tayo papunta dun eh. So, magano tayo, ito yung problema. Sabi ko nga po, ulitin ko, Madam Chair, Korte Suprema na po ang nagsabi, any expense incurred by the distribution utility which did not inure to the benefit of the consumers is unjustified and inequitable. Which part of that sentence is not understood to everyone?
Madam Chair, gaya ng nasabi ko, yung distribution utility ay hindi engaged sa pagnenegosyo ng pag-generate ng kuryente.
Tama po, kaya
hindi yan
niya dapat
nakasama doon sa
isingilin
kanyang
yun. Tanggalin na lang natin,
personal expenses.
kaya hindi siya siningilin ng Meralco. Kasi kung wala na siya, hindi na recognize, hindi naman hiningil ang Meralco. We're not blaming anybody here. Ang pinag-uusapan, saan ang gagaling yung system loss? Sa generation lang naman, tsaka sa transmission eh. If you do not recognize that, walang kukolektahin ng Meralco. Problem solved. Thank you po, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, let me exemplify. Ganito po yung nangyayari. Kunwari, distribution utility X, palagay natin Meralco or any other electric cooperative. Meralco or any other electric cooperative buys from generation A. Kunwari 10 pesos po yung nabili niya, Attorney Juan. I will not commit the mistake again. Attorney Juan, hindi San Juan. Okay. Eventually, Meralco or any other electric cooperative sells to consumers. Tama? Kasi binili niya, tapos bibenta niya. Nung i-account niya lahat yung kanyang sales, 8 pesos na lang ang kanyang na-recover. So, merong system loss na 2 pesos. Tama. Ganun na nangyayari eh. O bakit natin? Yung 2 pesos na yun, ito yung system loss na pinag-aawayan na natin since time immemorial. Ngayon, kung halimbawa yung generation, yung Gen A, yung generation company, will consider na yung 2 pesos talaga nangyayari na sa maraming paraan loss yun, ang Meralco, hindi na siya kukolekta ng system loss. Ganito lang kasimple yun eh. May 2 pisong diferensya kasi yung bill 8 pesos lang. Yung sale, yung kanyang purchase is 10 pesos. Pero yung total bill niya, entire the captive market is only 8 pesos. Yung 2 pisong pinag-uusapan, Madam Chair, ito yung pinipilit natin kolektahin sa ating mga mamamayan na hindi po pwedeng mangyari yun. Salamat po.
Attorney Juan, can you continue with your presentation and then we'll go to Yusek Carlo?
On our position on the
Again,
pending Senate bill.
although we included 14 bills, kasi a lot of them, all of them have some relation to the main issue, which is bakit ganon kataas yung electricity bill. So focus lang tayo doon because 2 hours is not enough to solve all these problems or to even get into the details. Pero to give everybody a chance again to speak, doon lang tayo, quick points on those issues. What contributes? What do you think are the highlights of the problems? What can you highlight about these issues?
Yes po. Going now to slide 12, which will be my last slide. This is a summary of our position. As regards the support for consumer relief measures, kasama dito yung VAT exemption and removal of yung
Slide na nire-request ni,
Yes po.
ni Chairman.
yung slide
Who has
12 lang.
your...
Kasi I highlighted here yun pong exclusion of certain pass-through charges from the VAT coverage. So, malaking bagay nga din po yan, especially kung kasama dyan yung system loss. Ang isa lang na po na nire-raise namin as an issue, ito pong implementation and collection of the VAT kasi medyo complicated yan. In fact, hanggang ngayon may mga unresolved issues pa. Yung treatment ng VAT, yung input and output, yung merong zero rated. So kung meron pa tayong additional na magiging bagong definition ng gross receipts to exclude yung system loss, so kailangan po matingnan, ma-operationalize doon sa generation how it will be implemented in terms of the VAT impact of that on the generators sa transmission at ganun din po sa distribution, including now the RES. So po pwede rin po kasi na mayroong magiging VAT issue pagdating sa retail supply. And then number 2, on the system loss cap reduction, this was also proposed. We support that, but let us just highlight that insofar as ERC's prevailing caps, naibaba na po natin yan from then levels of 12 to 14%. Ngayon, for the private distribution utilities, it has gone down to 5.5%. Comparable din siya dun sa mga ibang jurisdictions na that allow for disallowance ng system loss at 5.5. Hindi na po yan malayo dun sa norm. But as mentioned earlier, if this will be legislated na tanggalin na, so in effect zero cap na tayo, and that will of course force our distribution utilities to operate more efficiently and or to absorb yung cost na yan. And andaan natin, hindi naman tayo nag-iisip lang ng mga private distribution utilities like Meralco and the other private DUs na meron kaming isinasamang rate of return doon sa kanilang investment. We're talking also of electric cooperatives, hundreds of them, na talagang they operate purely on cash flow, at kung wala silang extra na puhunan or kapital na mailalabas pang-cover dyan sa gastos na yan, yung kanilang namang serbisyo ang mag-suffer. And of course, pag nag-suffer yung serbisyo nila, pwedeng lalong tataas yung kanilang system loss, aggravate lang doon sa problema nila kung sila na ang sasalo nitong cost na ito associated with system losses.
Quick question lang. Worldwide and in particular sa Asia, ano yung sinusundan na systems loss, ano yung systems loss sa kanilang, sa ibang mga bansa? Kasi yun naman yung benchmarking natin di ba? How is it handled in other countries?
I don't have
Okay, so can you get somebody who can give us that?
Yes,
Because me as a non-technical person, that is how I look at it. Sila, paano nila hinahandle yan, di ba? And then I want to point out dito sa presentation nyo na may sinabi din kayo na the ERC respectfully posits, andyan sa baba, ayan, everybody can read it, that the cost of upgrading distribution facilities or addressing pilferage to meet such lowered system loss caps should be weighed against the benefits, no? So, medyo you passed on it. Mamaya we'll ask Nea to exemplify kasi alam ko na ang problema parati ng mga cooperatives natin, puhunan nila. So, it's like a vicious cycle. Hindi sila maka-upgrade kasi wala silang puhunan. So, ang bulok-bulok na ng serbisyo, hindi pa ma-upgrade. So, that's why ang dami nating bills na sinama dito dahil the problem, there's not just one bill that can solve this problem. There's not just one law that can solve this problem. How do we create that? The question is, how do you create that environment? Like you said, maging mas efficient sila. Diba? Or maybe pag grant pa lang ng franchise, siguraduhin naman natin na, and kami yun, nag-grant ng franchise na may puhunan talaga itong mga to para paandarin ng maayos. Anyway, I will stop there, no?